Okay, Sunday the 29th of January already, 2012. I'm down in Lewes, about to embark on an 11.5-mile walk from here to Brighton via Rottingdean over the South Downs. It's a nice cold, grey January day. Maybe a bit of sunshine poking through later. Doing free walk 134, which is one of the newer ones. So let's see what that holds for us. Yeah, as mentioned in the text, this walk has a lot in common, initially at least, with Book 2, Walk 24, Lewes to Saltdean. So there will be some similarities, I'm sure. Been in this garden recently. One of our furry friends there. Last time I was here, probably sometime last year, I think this building was surrounded by scaffold, so we get a better view of it this time. Very ancient mulberry tree here. So ancient it needs support. The house from another angle. Pansies out already. In fact, quite a lot of colour here in this garden for the time of year. Another shot of Southover Parish Church. I say another shot because obviously I filmed it last time I was here. Still, got to keep the walk inclusive. Anne of Cleves house again. And from another angle, just about to follow the footpath up Jugs Road. It's 1.5 miles from here to Kingston, by all accounts. Views back over the noisy A27. Lewes Castle in the distance there. Well positioned. Point 11 of the text. Funnily enough, Kingston's now increased in distance. That's the ridge we're going to be walking along shortly up there. Done it before, lovely views, hopefully today as well. Sun's poking through, so good stuff. So there we go, sun's shining, mist is clearing, so by the time I'm up there I should get some decent views of the valley, the Ouse Valley down below. And since I last did this walk, I noticed that the title has been changed. Book 24, Book 2, Walk 24 is now a Lewes to Saltdean walk, whereas when I did it, it was a Lewes via Rodmell Circular. So I'm not sure why that's changed, but there you go. Looking back at Lewes, midway through point 13 of the text, and let's just do a 360 panorama here, because it is worth doing that. Floodplains down there by the River Ouse. Seafood, I guess, over that way in Brighton. onward journey there. The path's clearly marked on the hillside. I'll be taking the left one of those. That strange Dutch barn again. Must have been a windmill in days gone by, I'm sure. Delightful. And there we are, back to Lewes. So we had Jack and Jill windmills 2 weeks ago. Now this strange looking thing. Variety of windmills in England's quite interesting over the passage of time. Guess at some point in the future those monstrosity wind farms will evolve as well. Hopefully getting rid of them altogether. They look a bit cold. Surprised I haven't got any jackets on today. Currently about 2 degrees C, although not cold enough for frost. Unfortunately, I've just seen one magpie, which doesn't bode well for the Villa game this afternoon. Mind you, I saw 2 last week, and that didn't do me any good either. So here we are, the hamlet of Kingston near Lewes. Onward journey clearly marked is that way, indicated by this South Downs Way sign. January the 29th and my first sighting of daffodils. Very early. As described in the text, this section of the footpath, I think it's paragraph 15, can indeed be muddy and slippy, being based on chalk, but nothing too problematical. Point 16 of the text, parting of the ways, and we take the left hand path. Views back towards Lewes and its sister hamlet Kingston here. Great example of soil creep here. Just heard a raven as well. Wind's picking up, as you'd expect up here as we reach the top. So here we are on top of the hill. Not quite Swanborough Hill, but the tumuli on the map marked near Swanborough Hill, and this is the view. Very pleasant, fantastic day it is. Nice chill wind up here today, which you can probably hear despite my best efforts. This is looking east, or approximately eastwards. Ah, there's a bird of prey there. Have I got that? Yes, I have. Kestrel, is it? No, a bit too brown, so probably a sparrowhawk. Look at the way he's holding his position. Fantastic. There he goes. Yep, so that's an eastwards view. Beautiful. I shall get the view behind me in a second as we join the South Downs Way now. So according to this, I've done 2 3/4 miles, and that's in approximately 1 hour, seeing as it's now 12:15 and I left Lewes at about 11:15, so not bad. These signs are new, or they've been they've replaced the old ones anyway, because they weren't this fresh when I was up here a year ago. Anyway, that's the sort of approximate westward view. Delightful. And just to make matters better, just seen a pair of magpies in the gorse behind me. So, looks like a 2-1 victory on that basis. Looking down on Kingston and its ancient church there. Certainly Norman. There's a strange windmill in the distance again. This is from Swanborough Hill, approximately. Cool seeing this last time I passed either. Maybe I just missed it, but a gravestone here. Someone called E.G. who died, ironically, well, not ironically, but sadly, on Boxing Day. Probably up here for a Christmas walk, Boxing Day walk, and then died in '59. What a sad tale. Still, could think of a lot worse places to rest. It's quiet, good views. Rest in peace, whoever you are, E.G. Example given. Don't think that's your name, but there you go. Looking southeast and south-southeast from Swanborough Hill, and on my right in a moment we'll be able to see the Seven Sisters in the mist way over there. So the sea's not too far distant. We're somewhere in that gloom. Walking's still okay underfoot, no issues there. Point 22 of the text, and this is where I leave these nice views. Leaving the well, I'm not sure that is the South Downs Way on that side, because I'm about to follow it for another 60 metres according to the text. Anyway, onwards and upwards. There's an interesting bench there donated by someone's name that I can't read from this distance. So the South Downs Way goes down that way along the concrete track, ex-military no doubt, but my onward journey is towards the west. Look at that shot of the sun on the sea there, delightful. 23 of the text, the grass track between two fields mentioned there past the barn is now a chalk trail. Path clearly visible though, obviously just taking the fences down. Very lovely up here now. 4 of the text just starting a slow descent, and some delightful views here. As the text mentions, a quieter part of these southern downs here. Now look at that ahead of me. Don't know if it comes across on this film, but sun shining on the sea just as we approach. I guess that must be Saltdean down there. A couple of cows up here on the headland. Lovely bowl feature over there, clearly marked by the contours on the map. Loads of sheep around as well. There's a derelict barn mentioned in the text on my right, and at this point we're about 170 metres up, because that's marked on the map as well. Let's just get one more shot of that lovely vista ahead of me. Brilliant. Glorious day for January, I tell you. The path has now become greener. Okay, point 26 of the text. The track goes towards that derelict barn over there. And here's the post mentioned in the text. We turn right, headed over that way towards that other barn. Could be my lucky horseshoe. This post is well worn. Needs tightening up a bit. At point 28 in the text, and there's a walk here called the North Brighton Countryside Trail and the South Downs Circular Walk. Very peaceful around here as we approach that feature up on the hill called the Bostel, I think it is on the map. Could well be a good lunch spot, I'm not sure yet. Let's have a look when we get there. Looking back towards where I've just come from, isn't that delightful? Along that path there. Okay, got this water reservoir on my left, point 30 of the text, 125 metres up here according to the map, and we have a delightful view back. Look at that, fantastic. What a corker of a day. You can see which way the prevailing wind is up here, can't you? Look at that. Yep, southwesterly. Glorious day for walking. There's another cracking view. Look at the sea there. This is still point 30 of the text, and on the right over there, yet another windmill. Rottingdean's windmill. Unusual position next to the sea. Mind you, I suppose there's one at Cly in Norfolk. Just thinking about it. The way the sun's bouncing off that as you're walking ahead towards it, it has a similar effect as the damn Shard in London. I have big problems with that now on a sunny day. It bounces right into my living room. Pain in the eyes, literally. That wasn't foreseen in the foreseen even in the planning, I bet. Interesting castle-like building over there. No doubt we'll find out what that is later. Now about 1:30, so on the edge of Rottingdean. Need to find a suitable lunch spot. I wonder if Kipling's Gardens might hold a bench or two. The village sign for Rottingdean, next to the busy road mentioned in the text, which I'm about to cross. Okay, it's 20 to 2, and rather than risk Mr. Kipling's Gardens being closed, I'm going to sit on this bench here, donated by Harry Rhodes, opposite the bowling green in Rottingdean, and with a fine view of the windmill. Not the quietest lunchtime spot, but have to make do with this. There's the bowling green, and up on the horizon there, the windmill. Not sure if I'll be passing that in a minute, we'll see. Well, 2:15, lunch has been had, but it now transpires I could have had it in here anyway. The gardens are open from 8 AM up to dusk throughout the year, as you can see there. And inside we have a couple of picnic tables, handily positioned, and further benches inside. Apparently it was during Kipling's time in Brighton, 1897 I think it was to 1902, when he was inspired to write what was it, Kim and the Just So series. What a lovely little garden this is. Some very large snowdrops there, and some crocus or crocuses, whichever. Information board here about the man himself and his works. Hopefully you'll be able to enlarge that, pause and read if you so wish. Well, there's an appropriate little verse by the good man. The glory of the garden. The glory of the garden lies in more than meets the eye. Very true. Well, in fact, whoever wrote the text for this walk is a year out with the dates of when he lived here. 1903, not 1902. Rottingdean's church. Some coots here having a battle. Sorry, moorhens, what am I on about? I always get these two mixed up. Now whether it's mating season because of the sunshine, I'm not sure. But they look like two cocks to me. Battling over territory. Prospect Cottage there, the home of the pre-Raphaelite painter Sir Edward Burne-Jones, apparently, hence the blue plaque on the wall there. The beach at Rottingdean, and in the distance the Seven Sisters. It's gone rather grey and cold now. And looking in the other direction towards Brighton. So, the 7 mile part of the walk is now complete. Got about 4.7 to Brighton station apparently. So should have that done in 2 hours. Must admit this is pretty bland walking so far. Loads of people around even on a cold day like today. Lots of concrete underfoot as well. Not good for the joints. Still, get the old sea air in. Very astute businessman there, doing a roaring trade even on a cold day like today. Teas and choc ices, take your pick. Weatherman got the weather spot on today. Sunny intervals up until early afternoon, then greying over. Possibility of snow tonight, I hear. Approaching the Marina. Cormorant out there. Storm out at sea. And the journey I've made thus far. Okay, today the gate is open, so I'm going to take option A. Views of the Marina and the associated housing developments. A bit similar to Eastbourne in that sense. It is quite a little village in here actually. So there you have it. Information board here about the Ice Age Black Rock Cliff. One of the most accessible records apparently of long-term climate change in Northern Europe. So there you go. Hopefully you can see the website at the bottom. Having found the gravel footpath on my right, we're now about to follow a seafront health walk by the looks of it. Bit bedraggled and industrial down here. Unfortunate name on that lorry. The Volks Railway down below, which I believe I read somewhere is the oldest electric railway in the world. The setting sun, and over on its right, or its left, my right, Brighton Pier. We may be a tad early for the cacophony of starlings though, which might be a shame. You never know, fingers crossed. So there you go, 1883. Then by contrast you get this modern big wheel. £8 a shot for a view of Brighton and Hove. Well, 10 to 4, 10 minutes before kick-off, and I don't see any starlings gathering, which is a bit unfortunate. Probably about half an hour early, I suppose. But I need to press on, unfortunately. The entrance to Brighton Royal Pavilion. Another venue where I've seen the Stranglers in the past, I think. Pavilion. Tribute to Max Miller. Musical genius. Okay, it's 4:15. here we are back at Brighton. That was a very pleasant walk, certainly the first 7 miles anyway. I wouldn't worry too much about doing the second 4.7 miles, a bit mundane and bland. However, I just did it for the exercise. So that's free walk 134 completed. Another one bites the dust.